Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Synergy, shall we? I looked at some screenshots of the game, and it appears to be maybe like a builder with a really cool, you could see this kind of neat, cartoony style to it. So I'm ready to dive in for the first time. Let's go. So, difficulty, well, there's tutorial, story, and sandbox. That's great. We're going to do the tutorial because, I've never played. It's essential for familiarizing yourself with the game's mechanics and ensuring you have a rewarding gaming experience and a good understanding of your objectives. We definitely want all of those things. The origins. A group of exiles who were driven out of the dried-out oasis that had protected, until then, needs to recover, or rather, it had protected them, but it needs to recover despite their meager resources. However, the climate challenges them at every turn, and the desert's full of strange and dangerous mysteries. So we're going to learn the basics of the game, and we need to do that in 40 cycles or less. All right, let's try to make our way in the desert, shall we? Quickly build the research center to unlock new possibilities. Indeed. It sounds like a good idea. Look, they have like airships. End to wandering. For 2 generations, our community lived in an oasis protected from the hazards of the outside world, but like everywhere else, we were driven out of our homes. All is not lost. After crossing a sea of sand, we reached the shores of some new lakes. No matter how toxic the water is, it will be pure bliss to us if we can treat it. All right, let's do it. Getting water. Your citizens need clean water to survive. To get it, you need to build a pontoon, so your citizens can draw toxic water from a lake with special tanks. Toxic water must then be treated and purified in a purification basin to become clean water that your citizens can drink. All collected resources must be stored. In the water tower, we could store clean or toxic water. In the cellar, food and clean water, which are the resources used by citizens to nourish themselves, and a small warehouse can store all other resources. Citizens don't collect resources if there's nowhere to store them. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I'm going to move the camera to a watering hole, all right, so we can use WASD or right-click or hold the mouse wheel to move. And here's a watering hole over here. And you could see you could zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Let's build a pontoon, a purification basin, and a water tower. Open the construction menu. Let's build it. Okay, so we need to build the pontoon, which will go out into the water like that. And then they're going to build that. And then we can build a water tower, maybe like right next to this, so it's easy to gather. And then this is a path. So I'm just going to kind of make a little path here for them. And then where's my city center? It's over here. So I guess I'm going to bring in, if possible, let's go around this water. I don't know if that's just decorative water or not, but I'm going to bring this in just like this. And this is like our caravan. I'm going to kind of build a road all the way around this. Not necessary, but I'm doing it. I like how that appears. Now, do I want to purify down here or in town is the question. And probably I want to, well, they have to transport the water anyway, but let's purify in town. Oh, it needs to be built close to this. Okay, it has to be built close. Never mind then. All right, fine, I'll build it there. All right, you must install infrastructure for extracting, treating, and storing water. I could speed up time by pushing F1, pauses it, or spacebar. Great, that's exactly what I want. So let's kind of talk about how the game appears right now. The UI is super crisp and clean. It feels a little bit graphically like the Wandering Village, just in the cartoony sense, but obviously that's on a creature's back, not in the desert. But I get sort of the vibe of that right now. Okay, so we're playing what appears to be a kind of management builder game with a unique environment, and we've built the water tower here, and the purification, it's just not done yet. So we'll just kind of speed it up so that they can finish it. I'm just watching them work. They're hammering away at the water tower. You could see them up there. We're on cycle 1. So it looks like a cycle is about 40 days. Okay, we built the water tower. And now this says it doesn't have any workers. So I'm assuming I need to assign a worker to this. I'll do that. And it looks like I can maybe assign more than one worker. I'm going to pause it. It says Geshen is working, and the efficiency is 25% because I have 1 out of 4 workers here. Now, how many total workers do I have? This is my technological artifacts. We don't have any homes. We'll have to build those, obviously. Here's our people. And, getting water seems important, but I'll wait to distribute the labor until they explain it to me, because they probably have a good ratio in mind. We can go all the way up to 4x speed, which we will. Get this built. So this person is gathering the water. You can see there's no water stored yet. I'll pause the game. They are harvesting. So they want 2 citizens at the pontoon and 1 at the basin. The tower doesn't have to have anybody employed. People just drop stuff off. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll put 2 people at the pontoon and 1 at the basin. There can only be 1 at the basin, so that's cool. All right, our purification structures won't work on their own. Let's assign people. We did it. Vital water. We now own infrastructure to treat water as well as a healthy and sustainable irrigation system. However, seasons come and go, talking of Michelangelo, hectic and harsh, and we risk a disaster if we don't collect enough supplies for immediate consumption. To keep our buildings running smoothly, we must store enough clean water to prepare for a drought. Getting water. Getting clean water is essential for the city's survival and development. The scarcity of water means the growing needs of the population need to be balanced with supply means and climatic changes. Okay, certain climatic events, such as a dry season, can be fatal for unprepared cities as water supply means are slowed or even stopped. Fortunately, you can check out upcoming weather conditions in the interface, which shows the weather forecast for current and future cycles. A cycle is a period of 40 days. All this information is displayed near the speed controls. Okay. Oh, sorry, I pushed the wrong button there. Build 2 basins and assign 2 citizens and collect 20 water. Okay, so is there a way to copy this? I'm just curious if I can, Okay, fine. I will build another one there, and we will get a path going to here. And what is this missing resource? Toxic water. Well, they should have toxic water. There they go. I'm going to speed it up as much as possible. Okay. So we can finish building this. And they're hammering away. You can see we have... okay, let's assign a person here. We did it, and we're collecting clean water. I'm going to keep it fast. This is our remedies. You can see we have no water whatsoever. They are at 50% efficiency. They're working at it. Home. The oasis's inhabitants have slept for too long under the stars, with only an expanse of canvas to protect them from the extremes of the climate. We need to provide shelter in sustainable buildings. For that, we'll need materials as well as warehouses to store them. Heaps of rock that can potentially meet our needs can be found all around the area. Let's use them wisely. We will. I like this little meeting that they have. They have a rubber stamp. This is, a necessity for all committee work. She kind of has a teeny head for a big body. That's okay. And she has a little, desert-style clipboard. I guess it rolls up like a scroll, but can be pulled down into a clipboard for these kinds of meetings. And resource ripping. That doesn't sound pleasant. Building resource requires resources which can be obtained in various ways. The simplest method is to collect them directly from the map to get the necessary ingredients. The rip out action is available to the fast actions panel. It allows you to collect resources and plants from the map. I kind of like it, the aggressiveness of how this is described, because it's what we're doing to the environment, right? Just ripping stuff out of it. Use this method to collect rock from rocky amalgams. Start by finding and collecting rocky amalgams on the map. Also, think about building a small warehouse to store these resources. I will. I'm going to pause it. One warehouse, rip it out, 30 boreal rock. Okay, so let's look for some amalgams. And this is a bush. Rip out. So if I click this, you can see there's like a heat map or whatever of here's rock down here. So what we want are rocks. So we're going to kind of target this. And we're going to build a warehouse, which is here. And I'll try to store stuff, in the middle of town for now. Can you rotate the... It looks like you can't really... Maybe you can rotate as you're building. Yeah, shift. Okay. Let's do that. And I'm just going to kind of, connect the path. And we'll build a path over for their labor. That way people can get to work a little faster. Here they come. Alright, so they're all ripping it out. They did it. Oh, we already collected the stuff we need. That was pretty easy. And they're building this. Okay. Looking good. The music is really, really calm and soothing for this game. It looks kind of like a picture book, with the color palette and the illustration. It's nice. Housing. Citizens need a roof over their heads to protect themselves against rough weather and live in decent conditions. Your citizens will go to their homes regularly to nourish themselves, to eat, drink, and sleep, which makes the positioning of houses quite strategic. When they nourish themselves, citizens consume food and clean water. They're directly drawn from a cellar. This is why houses must be positioned within range of a cellar. So it's kind of like Anno in the area of influence for building. That makes sense. To nourish themselves, they also need cellars to get clean water and food. Therefore, all storage automatically requires 20 units of each accepted resource type, so citizens can bring these in. In the storage interface, It's possible to change the number of required resources or even refuse a resource. This can help in determining where resources are stored or preventing citizens from consuming certain foodstuffs. Transportation and priorities. Since all resources must be carried by citizens from one structure to another, it's important to have enough citizens that are not assigned to any building and are, therefore, available as carriers. Okay. Citizens naturally prioritize your direct orders and then tasks they consider most important. However, you may make any order or building a priority. For instance, your citizens will give priority to bringing and collecting resources from a building marked as a priority. Okay. So we're going to build a cellar. And stone house. Here's the cellar. Alright, so I'm kind of like making this the center of town so far, but you see how there's the area of influence around the center? I want this to be in such a fashion that we want it to be close, but we don't want any of the available real estate, if possible, to be taken up by existing structures because they'll eat into our plans. All right, so there we go. And then a stone house or is there any difference between these? Or oh yeah, the materials. 3 houses. Okay. So what we're going to do is just start by, how do we want to do this? Well, because of the way that I don't know if they need a road to walk to the cellar or not. I'm just guessing that they do. So what I'm going to do is just kind of build it like this for now. And then we're going to build a path that goes just right here. And then we'll also build a path that goes over here. So here they go. They're building everything. There's still some rock that's kind of been left behind, which is fine. We don't have a ton of clean water. That's okay. All right, so they have needs that they require that the seller doesn't have yet, but the unemployed citizen should start moving things to the seller. I mean, I hope. Great. Life-saving curiosity. The food we brought with us is dwindling by the day, but picking the strange and prickly fruit growing in the area, not to mention eating it, is risky. Before anything else, we must eliminate any danger related to the exploitation of these plants. Although we do not have a lot of scientific knowledge, the Oasis's old distiller is able to perform basic chemical experiments. Equipping it with a mobile working station, we could start our botanical studies. And, oh look, we got some immigrants, so we had 4 adults just join the city. Environmental analysis. Performing environmental analyses with the field laboratory enables you to discover the characteristics of nearby plants. Understanding the environment is the only way to get resources without causing your citizens to suffer or destroying the environment. I gotta say, just as an aside, I like this, and I really, really like how games, many contemporary games, just work in the idea of trying to interface with the environment in a congenial, reciprocal fashion, to hopefully, in young people playing games, communicate this kind of social, moral value about, how we should live on the world as planets. Or, well, how about I rephrase that? The world is a planet that we live on as people, and we need to do a better job of treating it. So I just kind of like when games bring in that vibe. The first analysis, like the surface analysis, gives you the result of the rip out action and harvesting. Surface analyses only provide information on harvesting that are already unlocked. After unlocking a new harvesting action, you need to perform a new surface analysis. To be available to citizens, harvesting actions require a harvest building. When a harvesting action is performed on a plant, the latter changes its growing state instead of being destroyed. Okay, the action is therefore more sustainable. We're learning sustainable farming. Also, since the action doesn't destroy the plant, the latter sticks to the harvesting order. Therefore, citizens will interact with the plant each time it reaches the appropriate stage of growth. That's cool. All right, so we need to build a field laboratory, a picker's cabin, and analyze a plant that produces watery pods. Okay, so let's do that. I have construction menu and housing, storage, flora. This is the picker's cabin. So we'll build the picker's cabin. I don't know if it needs to be actually within range of plants, but let's just pretend it does. So we'll put it like right there. And then we'll put a path over here. Okay. And then we need to build a field laboratory, which is probably this. Field laboratory. Okay. And, oh, it only affects what it's nearby. Wow. All right, that's interesting. So, you know, if you want to study... Well, this is just primarily, though, for plants. So, if I put it... It's not geological. It's just, you know, botanical. But that's fine. If I put it... No, that doesn't get everything. I want to be able to get these bushes. I'd like to be able to get these guys by the sea. Looks like we're going to need more than one to do this successfully, but that's okay. I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to assign someone to the picker's cabin. But I don't know, they're not going to be good at this until we've researched it, maybe? I could be wrong about that. Let me get you... Go here, and then go here. And then... There. Alright, I'm going to speed it up. Okay. And this needs a person. So they're going out and they're doing stuff. Now I have 14 people. Oh, we don't have enough houses because we got some new people. So let's go ahead and build another house. Now, we'll just keep building them in this row for now. It doesn't say to do this, but I can assign another person to the field lab. We're actually doing well on water. Add a task. Picking. Trimming. I'm not going to add a task just yet because I feel like I want them to add an analysis. Surface analysis. Watery pods. I don't know what it is that produces watery pods. I'm being perfectly honest. Is it this thing? I'm going to put all of these, like I'm queuing up different plants to see what we can do. Okay. Oh, receipt of analysis. Ripping out diluvian bushes, we can collect branches. The watery pods that this plant produce renew themselves. Ah, okay, cool. Let's pick them. They can be trimmed regularly, which you get branches if you do that. Okay. And we also learned about the cabbage shrub. It allows us to collect vegetables. That's cool. All right, so let's go ahead then and say watery pods. So let's go to the pickers, and we're going to harvest picking. Select some items. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of go for it on all of these for now. Those are the watery pods. And let's go. Let me put another person on the job. Speed this up. How's the analysis going? They're still doing some work. Now, it looks like we also did a little bit of analysis by maybe just picking itself. I'm not sure. But they're checking everything out. So this is really cool. They're like out there. They're using their clipboards. They're researching it. And we learned about this tree right here, the sunshade tree. And this will give us the ability to make the resource for the other type of tree. Or house, rather. That's cool. All right, we got another report. This is about the riverbank fingers. So these give us seeds. And so trimming is no good on them. It kills them. Probably need another picker here. Make this go even faster. Make sure we have enough food. Construction completed. Alright, so nobody's homeless at the very least. I'll speed it up as we gather. We have 15 of the pods. And let's just watch our people working. See, these people are coming to put the pods into the cellar. Alright, we did it. Resource refining. To obtain certain resources, a refining stage might be necessary. For example, tools crafted at the forge or dishes consumed by citizens prepared in the kitchen. Certain versatile production buildings can produce several resources. Production modules allow you to select the resource to produce and the way to produce it by choosing the recipe to use. This allows you to adapt to the resources available in your environment. Okay. So we probably want all of this stuff. A building's production speed depends on its efficiency, which is mainly influenced by its number of active citizens. Recipes can be affected by bonuses or penalties that impact efficiency, cost in resources, and yield. These may come from several resources. Bonuses unlocked through research, proximity to other buildings, and bad weather, for example. Alright, so we need to build a kitchen and a forge. Alright, so here's a kitchen. And we'll build this in the middle of town. And here is a forge. I want to actually build mobility path. There. So at this point, we're collecting the watery pods. And there's really actually no analyses that are queued up. Unless, if you can do it again, then that, you know, I'm not sure if you can or not. I'll add it, but I don't know, you know, if that's a good idea or not. We'll just pretend like it is. I don't think we got any new information. So I'm going to take a person out of the field analysis. Kitchen. We're going to get somebody on there, and they're going to make pod stew, maybe? Looks like they're missing vegetables. So we need to change this to something else, perhaps? You know what, though? No. I know what I need to do. I need to go to my picker's cabin, and I need to add... Oh, cool. It shows you what resources you get up here. Some of these. So the places, like these guys, we get vegetables from. I was mainly just targeting... Okay. We can get somebody at the forge. And these need branches. So then at the picker's cabin... well, I need a different action. I don't know if I can do that or not. Like, I need them to trim. Maybe I can just tell them to do that. Not rip out. Let's see what everybody's doing. No, don't rip it out. I don't want that. I want the bush if we trim it, but it must be activated at the picker's cabin. I think I have to cancel what they're doing to get that to happen. Now the kitchen is actually able to produce because I told them to go pick vegetables. I feel like I need to build another picker's cabin for just trimming because this one is, you know, like going to be doing the picking activity. Well, that's definitely something we could do, or I could just wait for them to finish this job and then assign some trimming so that we can get the branches that we need for the forge. But they are making the meals. You could see that this is going up. We have some waste, but we have 10 cooked meals, so we're getting there on simple dishes. And we're going to need even more to get there for all of the meals that we need for these people, but that's great. So everyone, I think this is a good first look at Synergy, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are of the game so far. Is this the kind of game that you'd like to see more of? Are you interested in this? Have you heard of it? I'll put a link in the description below so you can check out the Steam page. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care.